Well, good morning, everyone. I thought today I would go over a chord progression with you. Just make it real fast. And actually, I'm going to do this one right here. Those chords right there. So I thought I'd go over this particular chord progression with you. And the chords sound like this. It's a major 7th chord. Actually, that's D sharp major 7th. And it goes up to an F sharp diminished. And don't let these names scare you, okay? If you can play chords up here, you have these shapes down. I'll show you how to do this so that you're thinking in terms of shapes so that you can actually do it. If you're even if it's early on in your playing, if you haven't gotten to this level yet, it'll help you move up to it. It'll help you move out of that first position up into some other positions where you can find some different tones. And so I'll show you some ways around this so you can do it. So don't say no, I can't do it, because I think you can. Even if your hands have arthritis or something, if you can make a D shape or a D7 shape, then for the most part you can do this. And I'll show you why in just a minute. I'll show you the full chord first. This is a D sharp major 7th, okay? And if you're having problems with that, then that's great. Let me show you an example. This is down here is a D7th, right? Remember this chord? Well, if you take that shape and at the 7th fret, just you put it right there. See that where I'm at? I'm over one string. I'm just moving it down to the 7th fret where my pointer is on the 7th fret. It's part of that D major 7th chord. It's just this part right here, and you're doing it like you would do actually the A major 7th up here, or if you move over a string, the D7th. You're just doing that right there. There we go, right there. So you can use that as a substitute for the D sharp major 7th. Now, if you're coming up here to the F sharp diminished 7th, it's already a D shape. You see that? It's just a D shape. It's right there. Only it's in strings 4, 3, and 2. That's all it is. So you got this so far. When I was playing it a little more full. Okay, but you can do it this way. Listen to what it sounds like. Because you're going to stick to those 3 strings when you strum. So if you can do those 2 shapes, you can do those 2 chords. So you're doing these chords D sharp major 7th and an F sharp diminished 7th. Okay, so there you go. I told you you could do it. You just got to get used to where you are in the fingerboard. In this case here, for the first chord that I'm doing, my pointer finger, because I'm doing the full chord, which you're seeing up on the chart, it's on the 6th fret. And then when I come up here, I'm on the 10th fret with that pointer finger, except I'm on strings 4, 3, and 2, making a D shape. Got that? Okay. So we got the first 2 down. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. The next one is actually an F sharp. Now you can bar that if you're comfortable with barring, or you can. Did I say F shape? The next one is an F shape, but it's an A sharp chord. Okay, you're at the 6th fret, and you can bar it. And basically, it's just you bar at the 6th fret, and then you make the E chord shape right underneath that bar. And that's an A right there, A sharp at that 6th fret. That's the A sharp, okay? But you don't have to do it that way if you can't bar. Just make the F shape there and play strings 4, 3, and 2 again. And there's the F shape right there. And if for some reason you have a hard time with that, just don't do the ring finger. Just do the strings 1, 2, 3. But play that. You got to get that shape down. You really do. You got to work at that. You can't play guitar without knowing how to make an F. You got to make the F chord. Okay? And there's a lot of different ways. In fact, I have a couple of videos out now showing different ways and ways to substitute for the F chord too as well. But you got to have some kind of a form of an F chord. And here you really have to play that shape. Okay? Or without the ring finger. Okay? So far we have D sharp major 7th. And then we've got the A sharp. Okay? That's 3 chords. And you're in the upper position. And all of those have way to make 3-note chords. There you go. Now we got to go up a little bit further. We're going to go up here to the 10th fret again. And at the 10th fret on strings 1, 2, and 3, you're going to make the D shape. Okay? Now if you want to make a full chord, you could take your pinky finger and pick up the 4th string. But you could just, in this case, just make the D shape and just stick to those 3 strings. Okay, got that? So we have 4 chords now for this. Pretty good, huh? Okay, so that's the first part. We're almost through this. Okay, so the next part, you're going to go back to the D sharp major 7th. You remember which one that is? That's this right here, the 6th fret. And remember, you can do it here with using that D7th shape. Or you can make the full chord and play strings 5 through 2. Okay? In this case, I'm strumming it, but you can pick it. You can pick it, okay, but in this case I'm strumming it. And then we're going to go back to that D sharp major 7th, and here's where we're going to switch. We're going to go to the D7th. Okay, you know that chord, that's the D7th chord. And this one here is actually going to only take up 1 measure. It's going to be 2 beat streets, and we're not going to get into that, but it's okay. So you're going to slide up 2 frets with that shape. 3 frets. So that your pointer finger's at the 4th fret. Okay. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do that chord that I just did this, you got the D7th, right? And here I'm going to show you the chord chart. Okay, so you can go either way with this. Okay, so take a look at that. You can bar it. Or in my case, what I do is I take 2 fingers on the 4th fret and I'm covering strings 4 and 2. And on the 5th fret, my ring finger's on string 3 and 1 for the pinky. Okay? So you can do that, or you can just slide up and make the same shape because it's part of that chord as the D7th, but except it's at the 4th fret. Okay, so now we're going to go to a power chord. It's called the G5. And that's just right here, pointer finger on the 3rd fret, 6th string. And then you're just going to take your middle finger, put it on the 5th string, 5th fret. And then the 4th string is your ring finger, 5th fret. Okay, Okay, just play those three strings. Now, if you want, you can bar the whole thing and just play the E minor. If you try to you could just end it with a G, but it doesn't quite sound right. It sounds better to be the G minor. Okay, so here we go. Let's go from the start. Okay, let me move this over so you can make sure you see my fingers all the way here. Whoops. Let's try it again. Anyways, you can play around with that any way you want. At the very end, you probably saw me do this. I went to a G minor 7th. Point your fingers on the 3rd fret. And then I make like an A shape right here on strings 4, 3, 2. And I'm only plucking strings 6, 4, 3, 2. And that's it. And then I did a C9 here. I think that's what that's called. I'll put the chord chart up there. You don't have to do those chords. I just threw them in there. So you got, but if you can get these down, you'll have a chord progression to play around with and do different things with. And not only that, you're learning chords all over the fingerboard. And learning to play, and then also learning to look for the shortcuts. If you've got problems where you can't do certain things, you know, it doesn't, or I personally don't think it hurts to find a shortcut so you can have some fun. But eventually you'll grow into it. That's what the main thing is. It's like when I first started playing guitar, I showed how to do the G chord. And they just said, just take your finger and press down on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Play strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you have a G chord. Well, I don't play it that way anymore. I mean, once in a while I might pick it up that way, but I learned later, well, make a full G chord and to make a G sus. And I learned how to bar chord, and I learned how to find G in other places. And so you grow into it, and that's okay, but grow into it, and don't stop because you can't do it. Find a way that you can do it, and then take that way and use it as a jumping board to move up higher in your playing and to get to that place where you can do it. But don't never, or you'll never get anywhere. There's some days I get really frustrated, and when you do, it's best to put it down and then go have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, go do something else, go clean the house or something, and then come back to it. So that's probably the best way to do things, is not to wear your mind out, get yourself frustrated. You want to enjoy this. You want to enjoy every moment, and you want to find ways to enjoy it. And that's just my philosophy, and I'm sure somebody else will come along and say, oh, absolutely not, don't do it that way. Well, I guess I'm breaking the rules. I've done that all my life. I don't always fit the mold. But it works for me. So we're going to end this right here. And don't forget to subscribe. I got to say that. You're probably sick of hearing me say that. When I hit 10,000, well, I can't say never. I'm sure there'll come a point where I'll say, now I want to get this. We're never happy out here. All right, well, anyways, but I'm only 210 away, so it's frustrating. I just want to see it then get to that 10,000 mark. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, put up with it. And I guess we'll just leave it right there. And and for those of you that will probably ask, I'm playing Kevin Corcoran guitar. This top is redwood. I think it's sinker wood, meaning it was underwater at one time. It is reclaimed wood, I know that for a fact. I bought this probably about 10 years ago, and it's got rosewood back and sides. It has, I think this is koa binding on here. But what's really special about this particular guitar is it has a cantilever neck. If you look in there, you'll see that it goes right here. This is all off of the fingerboard. You see that? It's off the top of the guitar. So it leaves this guitar open. It's very, very responsive. It's like a drum. It's a beautiful instrument. It has an LR Baggs in it right now. It's handmade, and Kevin Corcoran made these guitars. I don't think he builds anymore. You can find them used for the most part, I think. And I have it taped. If you're wondering what that is on there, I taped it for your sake because that doesn't have any markers. And so when I'm trying to show you something, it makes it really hard if you don't know where I'm at on the fingerboard. So I put some, that tape just happens to be a wood tape. It won't, and it's for building guitars. It won't hurt the finish if I pull it up easily. And I will take it off sooner or later and won't leave it too long. But anyways, that's this guitar. It's a gorgeous instrument. It has a very special neck as well, the way he's put this neck on. It's very easy to work on. I've never had to work on it, but if you had to. So anyways, yeah, so that's it. We're going to leave it right there. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.